so excited to share my friend with you today, Jared Mahone. We went to college together, and we probably have lots of stories on both of us. So don't ask, okay? But no, he's an awesome guy, and his wife Kara and his little son Cameron. We wish they could have been here with us, but Jared's been out on the road traveling, and he's going everywhere. He maybe can tell you a little bit about where all he's going, but we are excited to have him with us today and to share the talent that God's given him. And so without any further ado, Jared Mahone.
The truth will find it out. But this empty room is open. Down for the moment, but not up for the count. With the drawback now suspended, explain a name that I would know to call when all it is will show. Most amount to nothing. Much too motionless for good. This sunshine, no misunderstood. Feel the rush of pressing on. Looking inward, oh, indeed. But I consider the test just a moment to believe. Just one more to catch my breath. Seems to be, can't be all there is to me. It takes time to refine. What seems to be, can't be all there is to me. And you know I got to believe. Multiple choices, enough to fill it out. God forbid I'm bound to my decision. Multiple voices, a spark beam bartending. They say I signed up, but where is the carbon? We say I sold out, but where is the bargain? That cityscape is all I know. That cityscape and take control, which only means that I let go completely. Much too motionless for good. This sunshine, no misunderstood. Feel the rush of pressing on. Looking word or indeed. But I consider the change just a moment to believe. And I'll never be the same, yeah. But seems to be, can't be all there is to me. It takes time to refine. But seems to be, can't be all there is to me. And you know I got to believe it's true. Call it a wonder if you will. It's tension waiting. Is my behavior like I'm retreating? You've entirely missed the truth. So I pull back to the magic nights and fire hits the fuse. But seems to be, can't be all there is to me. Oh, it takes time to refine. But seems to be, can't be all there is to me. But Thank you. Well, thanks very much for having me here. I know this is pretty odd, I'm guessing. And these songs that I'm going to sing are songs that you don't know, which also is maybe an odd thing to do. But I'm a songwriter, and it's pretty fun to get to travel the country and do this for a job. It's actually a pretty crazy thing to get to do this for a job. But I've had the privilege to be able to write songs that enough people connect with, that I can travel the country and do this. And anyway, these are my songs. I hope you dig them. That song was called Catch My Breath, and it was this moment in my life. I tried to write about it and capture this moment when I felt like wasn't really sure where I was and what I was doing, and felt like this moment, that's the moment before the moment, the moment when something actually does happen, but that moment right before then where nothing is happening at all. The calm before the storm, I guess. That tension when you kind of draw back the bow, aim the arrow. There's all that tension inherent, but nothing has happened yet. And that's where I felt like my life was at that moment. And it was just kind of like, looking in the Word and seeing what God would have me do. I knew that I wanted to do it, with my whole heart as if unto the Lord. And so that was that moment, and so I wrote about it, and that's mostly what I write about. It's the stuff that I experience and where I'm at in my life. And honestly, this is what I think. I feel like I was born as this one person, this guy. And this guy, I didn't ask to be him. I was just born that way. I have all these tendencies and these desires, these tendencies to do really good things, and then these tendencies to do really stupid things. This guy has tendencies to lie a lot for no reason at all. This guy has tendencies to not be a very good guy to girls at times. This guy has tendencies to be really self-centered. And there's a guy that I'm trying to become. Hopefully it's very different than the guy that I was just default born as. And there's a big gap in between those two people. It's called my life. I'm living in it. So that tension between those two people, between who I know I was born as and who I'm trying to become, that tension between those two people is what I write about mostly. And I don't know how to be a different guy at the moment. I pray about it a lot. I just know how to act like a different guy. But I know that deep in my heart that I am the sinner, and I don't want to be that guy inside. I know that God can change my heart, but at the moment, God is helping me kind of focus and direct my actions. Because I feel like sin and the things in my life that I don't want, they kind of grow up in my life like a weed. And if I don't tend to them, if I don't keep that stuff down and don't keep that stuff out, all of a sudden I'm wrapped up in these weeds and I don't even look like myself. So I wrote a song about it. This is called Cut It Back. One story away from tripping up steps of the fire escape, climbs like a vine till she finds where I'd be. It's time to swing the sickle on me. Oh, it's time to swing the sickle on me. Mama said, oh, there's one thing I know. If you don't cut it back, it will surely grow. Daddy said, oh, it's so true, my friend. If you don't cut it back, it will grow back again. If you don't cut it back, it will grow. So I'm keeping my eyes open wide this time. Oh, I'm keeping my eyes open wide. So sick the dogs and surrounded, I pray. What's within me be kept at bay. Ship drifting out to the tempest sea. A vessel, no captain, the same as me. Mama said, oh, there's one thing I know. If you don't cut it back, it will surely grow. Daddy said, oh, it's so true, my friend. was surrounded, ivy wrapped from head to feet. I looked like a tree that could never be me again. There was a moment I was surrounded, ivy wrapped from head to feet. I looked like a tree, oh, that could never be me. So I'm keeping my eye open wide this time. Oh, oh, I'm keeping my eyes open wide. Oh, oh, I'm keeping my eyes open wide this time. Oh, oh, I'm keeping my eyes open wide this time. This time, this time, this time. But man, weeds are sneaky. And I gotta pay attention. That's what I feel like. So I kind of make this my mantra. I say it to myself when I need to hear it. I'm keeping my eyes open wide this time. Thank you. I have just one more song I'd like to play for you. I'm actually going to play a little show tonight. Yeah, at the ranch, right? At the Howard and Sally's ranch, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. Get to play a whole concert, and it's just going to be like this, me and this little loop station. I know you guys saw a little bit what I was doing. It was a little crazy, right? Just so you know what's going on. I don't play with pre-recorded studio tracks. It's not like a karaoke show. I'm actually trying to make the music right in front of you. So check it out. I got this pedal at my feet, and it's basically a recording device. And when I press the pedal, it's actually recording what I'm playing as I'm playing it. Watch. When I press the pedal again, it takes what I just played and puts it on a loop. Mistakes and everything. Once I get that down, I got this. And loop and loop and layer, right? Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So that's what I'll be doing tonight, and just kind of building up this band and playing the songs that I wrote. I hope you guys can come. I would love it. And again, I just want to play one more song, and you're going to hear some of these same songs actually tonight, so if you come. But I'll tell a little bit more of the stories behind them. This song is a song that I wrote. Actually, if you haven't noticed, I'm a guy that grew up with soul music. That's really what I kind of lived and breathed on all my growing up years. I lived in the city surrounded by concrete, and that was my growing up. So it creeps into my writing. But when I went to college, I went away to college in West Virginia, where Amanda is from, just right down the road from the college, and met a ton of wonderful people. For an Ohio kid, West Virginia is the state you make fun of for some reason. I don't know why that's the case. The Midwest, for some reason, like every state below you, is the one you make fun of. But when I went down there, all of my ridiculous notions about the state kind of melted away after meeting just some wonderful people, Amanda being one of them, and all the people that I went to college with. But I learned about this completely different culture. It's culture shock for me. I didn't know anything about hill people. I didn't know anything about Appalachian culture. I didn't know anything about bluegrass. Two of the people that I met, their names are Joe and Betsy. And Joe and Betsy were married for 57 years before Betsy passed away. I wanted to write a song from Joe's perspective. Not that I could really understand the loss that he went through, but I felt like I could understand what it means to
love somebody like that. And so this song's called From Joe to Betsy, and it's a letter from Joe's perspective. So I thought if Joe had some words to say about his girl, they'd have to sound like him. They'd have to sound like where he's from. So I kind of had to forget a lot of my soul music upbringing, learn about this bluegrass thing, and pay it a little bit of an homage. I'm definitely not playing bluegrass up here. But if it was Joe's words, it'd have to sound like him. They live in a place called Hometown, West Virginia. That is a real place. Hometown, West Virginia. It's right there on the river. And every state has a slogan. Of course, Texas's slogan is, don't mess with Texas. Everybody's like, don't mess with Texas. West Virginia, Ohio's is the heart of it all. And West Virginia has one as well. It's right there on the sign when you go into the state. It says wild and wonderful, which I thought was a great way to describe the state for sure. But it's also a great way to describe, I think, a way that Joe might have described Betsy.
This river is my hometown. It's the place where I settled down. It's all I've ever known. From the hollow to the hills, where the whole of my soul is still. You're wild and wonderful. It's all within our reach. How simple our life could be. Vacation at the beach. We'll have a boy or maybe 3. I'll deliver the mail, and you run the corner store. This river is our hometown. It's the place where we settled down. You're all I've ever known. Seen the hollow and the hills. I'm in awe of your beauty still. You're wild and wonderful. The years appear as bows. I watch them as they go. And I'm reminded by the winding road that once around that bend, I'm turning once again.
Joe and Betsy are actually my wife's grandparents. And after Betsy passed away, I was actually on a tour down south, and I started driving home up through West Virginia, saw the signs that I saw that I recognized when we go home to see her family. So I started thinking about Joe and how he was doing. And I called her and I asked. And she said, he's doing fine. We went to visit him, and he was sitting there in front of his television eating a loaf of bread for dinner. And I could not think of a more sad picture in my mind at the time, because, and not to be gender role specific, but they're like old school grandma and grandpa. So I'm sure the guy knows how to make a sandwich, but I bet he hasn't had to make a sandwich in 57 years, you know?
This house is empty now, and I eat my daily bread. All is calm, and yet somehow Your laughter fills my head. If only a dream. I pray, Lord, don't let me wait. This river is my hometown. It's the place where we laid you down. But I am not alone. Hear the hollow and the hills. They echo your laughter still. You're wild and wonderful. Wild and wonderful.
Thanks very much.